Welcome back to another video. Happy New Year to everybody. It is January, I don't even know, 5th? The 4th already. January 4th. 3:30 in the morning and headed to the Hunting Lease. Even though our rut has not really fully kicked off yet, even though for some reason last year I remember being around New Year's Eve, but you know, cameras don't show that. I've still got, you know, does with fawns and in groups and stuff like that. Don't really have any new bucks on camera traveling through day or night. It just doesn't really seem like we're in full rut. However, this week though, they've killed like 5 bucks already on the lease and during the day. So maybe they're on their feet starting to cruise around a little bit. I don't know. We know I'm no deer expert if you've watched this channel for any time now. So it is 54 degrees. I was hoping it'd get a little chillier, but it is 30 degrees cooler than it was yesterday, so we've had a good temperature drop. According to HuntWise and Hunt Stand and all these different apps and stuff you can get, the deer is supposed to be moving today. Yesterday was not supposed to be that good of a movement. I didn't really see too much on my cameras. I got 3 cameras up right now. So, you know, I don't know what's going on with that. One real quick little tidbit about the channel. If some of y'all caught last week or about 2 weeks ago, I did a review on GardPro, which was a game camera that they sent me back in November-ish. You know, I told them I was gonna, you know, check it out for about a month and then do a video on it. And about 4 days after doing the video, they contacted me saying that they were cutting all ties with me, and not just me. I've reached out to a couple other channels that did GardPro. 2 of them out of the 4 got back to me saying that GardPro had also canceled with them. Now, GardPro let me keep the camera, which, you know, was a $100 camera. So I thank them for that part of it. But part of the deal was by me doing videos and advertising for them, I would get free internet service, and that's the part I lost. You know, I think it's kind of a crappy way of doing business. Their customer service was not the best. Not that I'm sitting and trying to knock them down now while I'm kind of upset with what it is. I'm just being honest. You read the reviews are about them is the camera's not bad, but the customer service is based overseas. So if you had a problem, the only way to contact them was email them, and you had to wait till 3 o'clock in the morning to get a response. Also on my camera, as I showed in the video, I never got the video part to work right. The video was just like literally 2 to 3 frames per second. So this is how the deer moved, and nothing was smooth. There was no audio or anything like that unless you did the live. So I will still say the monthly service is not that bad. So while I have the camera and I'm low on funds, I'm going to continue using it at least through the end of this season, through February. And, you know, I paid for the cheapest of cheapest rates for right now. I think it was like $5 a month or something like that, $10 a month. But the problem is it only gives me like 500 pictures, and I'm already used up 100 in 3 days. That's how much the does are moving. It ain't the bucks. I got a little spike every now and then, but that's about it. All right, so what else is going on? I know in one of my previous videos I discussed some changes with the lease. Just so you know, some of y'all don't deal with leases, so just I like to bring lease drama to y'all. So our lease decided to go from 50 members, and I forget what we were paying before, $1,200 or $1,300 or something like that, to down to 30 members, but the dues were going up to maybe 2,000 maybe or something like that. At first, I didn't get in quick enough for the waiting list, for the first 30 members, and I was going to be SOL. I was already looking for another lease for next year. I was recently informed that they had one opening, so I jumped at it. And I had to put my deposit down, and I'm signed up for next year. One thing I can tell you right now is I got to figure out lodging, sleeping, whatever you want to call it. This leaving the house at 3 o'clock in the morning is for the birds. I have a 2.5 hour ride at 5:30 is when everybody's at the board signing in. So, by me getting there even this morning, I'm gonna get there at 5:35. I'm gonna not be able to pick the stand I want. And then it doesn't get daylight until 6:10, 6:15. So now, I'm sitting in the dark, which, we have box blinds. So, you're walking down the road and you get in the box blind. You really don't need to be in there 45 minutes early before dark, like on public land, like I'm used to. So I got to figure out lodging. I used to stay last year at an Airbnb, and it was about $75 a night, and it wasn't that bad. And it had a very nice room with TV and shower and all that stuff like that. And apparently business has been very good, even though she's in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the woods. Business has been very good for her because it was booked up last weekend, and she went up to like $159 on one room and like $179 for the other room or something like that. And I'm not paying that. I'm just not going to pay that. Things are way too tight right now at the house. It's just past Christmas. My daughter had a little car incident, had to pay for that, and it's just things are stacking up, and I just can't waste money right now. I also, fun fact, just got just got a phone call from the butcher for my deer processing for the 8-point that I killed, the 9-point that I killed probably about 3-4 weeks ago now. About $350. And if I would have went with 50-50 on the meat to pork or whatever, it would have been close to $400. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I can see why people buying their own deer processing, stuff like that. I don't want to mess with that, so hence I'm paying the price on it. There's very few places around my house that are still doing it. Places that used to do it, they're very good. They're so backed up with regular business, they're not doing it. And they told me I had to come back later in January, and I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with all this meat? So there's just a couple of fun fact things that are going on, so anybody wants to follow along with how fun hunting is and stuff. So going back to the lodging thing, what I'm looking at doing is they sell tents, and if I can remember, I will post a picture of these, but bed tents, truck bed tents, where I wasn't doing the tent on the ground thing. I did that years ago, and it's not fun. If it rains, water gets in the tent and all this crap like that. I'm not dealing with all that. So they have truck tents on Amazon, and you can get it from Walmart and Academy, I'm sure, and stuff like that. But they actually don't look too bad, and the reviews aren't too bad on them. And then they got air mattresses that fit the bed. Those don't look too bad either. Put a little converter in it with a battery or something like that. Yeah, power, TV, propane tank running outside to a heater. On the inside, you put a little carbon monoxide detector in it, and actually, it's not that bad. At least that's how it looks, especially the video. People were in them in snow and storming rain and stuff, and worked out. So the truck tent is an option. The tent's not that expensive. Like, don't be wrong, I don't have $100 to go and blow, but it's the better one's $150, $160. But we also only have 3 or 4 weeks of hunting season left. So I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I hate to go buy something, use it one time, and then not need it again for next season, because you never know what next season brings. I have another friend who has a little bit, about 30 minutes more north than where it's actually no further time. If you're on this interstate that I'm on now, it's 30 minutes more north. But when I get off this interstate right here, I got about a 40-minute drive east on Highway 98. It's a big federal highway, goes Louisiana to Florida. But or basically the same distance by going north. It's probably almost a little bit less distance total. I got a buddy, it's a lot smaller lease, but it's only got 6 or 7 hunters in it. And dealing with, at least this year, with 50 hunters. Years ago at this lease, not everybody hunted, even though people belonged to it. Now they got younger people in it. They're all hunting, then they're bringing their kids. Their kids old enough to be in their own stands, and it's getting a little crazy. I got some friends that I've been friends with since high school, which was, quite a few years ago. And they're all kind of into hunting and we're scattered about. We still play fantasy football together as a way of getting together every year. And we've been in a group chat about possibly finding our own lease because we're all kind of hunting in our own spots. Problem is, I think we have, even though we're friends and we get along with sports and stuff, some of us have different mindsets about hunting. Me, I got meat in the freezer now. Can't really afford to keep getting deer processed. I'm more about the trophy looking bucks and managing a trophy herd to get 8 points or better and that kind of stuff like that. Some of these guys are about browning down. They believe in that's part of nature and you're getting what's off nature, blah blah blah, within legal limits, of course, what the state of Mississippi says. So we can't even agree on rules. We don't have a lease yet. But I think it'd be cool to join with them guys, to hang with them, because I really don't talk to that many people at this lease I'm in now, because other than one guy I work with, I don't really know these guys. So that's different stuff to think about. But that's it. I'm not going to keep talking. I know sometimes I'm talking this for like 20, 30 minutes, and I don't want to do that. Hopefully we see some deer today. I get some footage of deer on the ground, on the ground, or at least walking around. This lease is not famous for having deer during the daytime a lot. I think maybe last year, not like as in a month ago, but last season on Thanksgiving weekend, I saw 2 does on their feet in a food plot during the day, and that was it. And I think that's the only deer I've ever really seen in daylight hours on a food plot. A lot of pictures at night, but that doesn't make good footage on this, because I'm gonna tell you, I hunted here about 2 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. It all blends in, and I took footage like this, and also some footage while I was walking around and some different things I saw, and I never posted it just because these videos aren't getting a lot of views as it is. So me sitting here talking and doing stupid stuff, I kind of doing this as my own vlogging, video blogging, and I say that all the time just so I can remember what the hell I'm doing and what I'm putting out, what I'm not putting out, and that kind of stuff like that. So also, since we are talking about it, right now I'm still putting out the wild game treat. I wanted to put out another bag today, but all the places are closed today. I wanted to get a bag yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to go drive because there's nobody selling it around me or Mobucks. I don't think I'm gonna find any today. I'm probably gonna put one more bag of that out. It normally lasts about 2 weeks if it's hit hard, maybe 3 weeks in those troughs, which then puts us at the end of hunting season. February 1st is the end of rifle season, and we got switched back to a protein so that we got deer that are pregnant, bucks that are trying to recover, and then sticking with a protein regimen after that, and it'll probably double down protein. But again, things can change. I don't know. I'd like to get some kind of protein feeder because the raccoons seem to love double down, and I'm not trying to feed raccoons. So it's a lot of stuff to think about. I'm not ready to finish the season off yet. It seems like it just started, but hell, we got 26 days left of the season, so we'll see what happens. So all right, let's get in the woods. Tell you what, you see all these little holes, look like little holes in the ground? That's all deer tracks. They follow this old road, and if you look straight through here, my son's food plot looks like a beacon in the night. Look how green, you can see how green. There's no green in these woods at all right now. It's all died over, hybrid, whatever you want to call it. But look at the green, and you can see these tracks. Yep, so we finished our morning hunt. We didn't see anything. Somebody killed a 9-point, but it was a small rack. It was an 8 or 9 point. Yeah, they got some footprints. But hey, I mean, footprints aren't surprising when we have does on these cameras. Because that's my son's. You can't see it, but mine is straight through here. I'm not even going to walk to it because I have that solar panel camera. Battery's at 100%. I don't have any kind of feed for it right now. I'm hoping it can last another week. But my son's batteries are about dead. I don't know how it's lasted this long. Tell you what, these Reconnaissance cameras eat through batteries. By now, I probably should just pay for the $150 solar panel for it. But I keep saying I'm gonna swap cameras because I don't care for the quality, the picture quality. I do have to say, ever since I threw that 1313 on here, or 888, whatever the hell it was, and we got some decent rain, this food plot did come up some pretty good spots, but I don't think the deer hitting it as hard. What I will say is that my son had that Purina block in the middle right here. They have obliterated it. It's almost like they picked the corn out of that wild game treat and left the rice bran. But I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. I'll take one of these sticks and mix it up. But I got them on camera. I know they've been coming here. All right, we're on a new section of the lease that I have not hunted before. It's not a new section, it's just new to me. I've never hunted this section. It's just got 2 stands on it. It's clear cut on one side, a little row of pines, and then we've got some oaks right here, which are probably holding deer. But I have never, in all the stands I have been on, I have never seen this many tracks. And some of them are very fresh. So I put out my J&S Scent Squeeze-A-Pea. I do have to say, and I feel bad that I did not give him props to take pictures with it. I had this out, especially the chill pills, around my stand when I killed my 8-point or 9-point. Look at these tracks. You got tracks freaking everywhere. It's about 2:30, and I need to get in the stand, but I cannot get over the amount of tracks. And these are fresh. Some of these are very fresh. So, but as you can see, it's super thick. So if I make a shot, the stand is way up there. I gotta try to survive walking back up this hill, but I had to come down here to check it out. I wanted to make sure this feeder had a good trail going through there. You can see that on camera. But it has warmed up a lot though. It was 40, by 49, 50 this morning, and it's gotta be 63 now, and it feels warmer than that. Already making plans to come back next weekend, and we got a lot of rain coming this week supposedly. I haven't looked at the weather. Somebody was talking about it at the camp. Warm weather and rain this whole week, and then next weekend supposed to be a big frigid fall in temps again. I can only hope. But anyway, let me go ahead and, without trying to sound like I'm dying, get up this hill and get set up in my blonde. Halfway up. Tell you what though, you come through here at night with a side-by-side to come fill up this feeder with corn, you have a bad time coming. Bad time coming. All right, this is what we look like from up here. All right, just need a big buck to step out. All those tracks down there, there's gotta be something coming here. Maybe at night, but you know, during the rut, we were having discussion at the Hunting Lease a little while ago. All right, so we got 100 yards directly to the feeder. It's 110 yards to the back if you see the white pole that the trail camera's on. So, got a little stretch of pines right here. And if you look, I don't know if you can see it, but I think right up in here, you should be able to see somewhere the feeder on the next, that's right there. It's the feeder on the next food plot over. So deer
traversed these pines and oaks that are mixed up in here. You can see there's some oak trees up in here and a couple of little pines right here at the beginning, but a lot is behind here is oaks. And you know where acorns are falling, that's where they're at. Now, somebody did leak that there is a buck, probably a nice buck, traversing between both of these food plots that nobody's gotten a shot off on yet. And we had a cull buck, I think it was on this stand. It was on this stand or the stand. There was a cull buck that they took off that was on our hit list. And it had another buck with it, but cull bucks have a reward, cash reward. So sometimes people want that if they're just looking for the meat. So we'll see what happens. I like this stand, so put on my list to come back. The wind's perfect. The wind's coming into my face. I did not want it blowing down there. It's blowing straight into my face from that field this way. So unless the deer behind me in the clear cut down, I'm screwed. But either way, I don't have a shot that way because there's no window behind me. So this might be a good spot. So it's 3 o'clock. We got 2 hours before magic time happens. So I'm not gonna show you a picture, but it's warmed up to about 65 degrees, but it's hot and it's blind with only one window. So I have shorts on and no t-shirt, and I've took my thermal socks off and my boots off. Trying not to sweat to death. So, all right, let's go.